Hello, you guys.
And welcome to the Ladies Tale podcast.
I'm letting her do this today because guess what? She doesn't get to do it often, and she's here. Yay!
I know, like I'm never here nowadays, y'all. I'd be like, on vacation, I'm Jathan.
Oh, and I'm Winona. Good job remembering to introduce yourself. I think
High
I would do
five.
social distance
Stuff.
I'm starting to think about did you view I did with Gabriella? I never introduced myself.
See? Because
never said my name once. I called myself narcissist.
well, if they, does that mean if they Google you, your picture will be next?
No, it better not show up next to narcissism.
I would laugh really hard.
If anyone from Google is listening and that has happened, you need to change it immediately. That means change the internet because I feel Google has the power.
Well, no, I can't. See, I had funniness in my soul today, and then you just took it. Like, you just like, Google, change the whole internet for me because I'm not a narcissist. That's like the definition of a narcissist. I can't take it. Oh my goodness, I can't.
It didn't sound like that in my head. Anyway, we both.
Whoa, that makes it what? Like, I put literary life guides with pop poetry. Darn it!
Yes, and would you like to tell us about the two ones that we can find on audible.com?
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna. Why? Okay, yeah, the two ones you can find on audible.com, and I thought divorce was bad, and I thought being grown up was easy. You can find those on audible.com. And because this is the Ladies' Tale, let's just talk about how we can find the managers on number one of this podcast. And you can hear from our wonderful guests.
Oh, wait. No, I also want to finish doing me.
Oh.
We have the Misfit Guys, and we are the
Google,
founders.
you have it right if her picture is next to it.
No, you do not.
Okay, so 25 hottest.
You're 25 hottest authors, artists, and advocates magazine. And what you see in the background is our literary magazine. We are done.
Yes, so if you want to listen to the managers, you can definitely find it at the first one of this
the first episode of this podcast.
Absolutely. And today we have a wonderful guest. See, we don't really introduce anyone. And she's going to introduce herself and tell us, who she was in the
podcast, who she played. And then she's going to tell us a bit about herself.
Absolutely.
Let's start the tale of what's your name again?
I am B. Danielle Watkins. Nice. And I played Grace in The Managers. And I am currently an award-winning filmmaker, director, screenwriter, and author.
See, that is not the person you forget the name of.
You didn't forget her name.
I did not forget her name.
You just don't do segues well on the show. And she was trying to segue, it just seemed horrible. So let's not segue. Like, that's why we don't segue. They sound rude. Like, what? You forgot my name?
No. I have been looking forward to this interview. I've been so excited to interview you. It was like you and Tanya Todd out of cast. Not that y'all are my favorites. I just was excited about
She's blue hair, so
pretty much.
Yeah, you have to love someone with blue hair.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, because other people look at me a little strange sometimes, depending on where I'm.
I have blue lips. Like just look at them. Look at them back. Like what?
Oh no, I don't care. I'm just saying. I appreciate it.
So first I want to say, because I wasn't like involved in managers whatsoever really, like the reading, but I want to say you like nailed Grace.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. How did you nail her so well?
Well, when I read it, that's who she sounded like she was. So I just put it together.
Oh, nice. And you have to understand that the actors did not have long to read the script.
I know. Trust me, I know. I kept emailing like, am I supposed to have a script somewhere that I don't know about?
Yeah. So when she nailed it, that was some seriously hard work and good talent. I just have to
thank
say
you.
that. So what made you, first of all, what made you get involved in video work? I know that sounds weird, but hold on, let me explain the question.
Right, because I was going to say, can you bring that back around? Just me.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to attempt another segue. Look at that.
Woo!
Okay.
So I know you were an author at first, and then you had interest in turning things into a movie, and then you eventually took on multiple roles behind the camera and now in front of the camera, hence why I said video work, because it's comprehensive on both sides. So how did you get involved?
To be honest with you, it was never my plan. I was just going to be an author and live my best life and write stories. But my ability to write stories caused people to say, you should do this, you should do this. And I was like, not really interested. And then like in 2013, I'm gonna say, Will Smith did a screenwriting competition. And you know, your friends hype you up. They're like, "Oh, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it." And I was like, "Oh, sure." And I had just outlined a new novel. And I said, "Well, I could just turn this into a series as opposed to a novel." And you know, it said it was supposed to be family oriented. So I'm twisted. So I did make it about a family, but somebody got murdered. And that wasn't family oriented based off of what family entertainment would be. So yeah, I lost. But the script was good, and that's how I got my first job working at the production company in Atlanta, because I had written a script and I was able to show them work. And life has changed dramatically since then.
Wow, how does it change?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, you set us up for that one.
You set me up
Thank
for that
you.
one. Thank you. How does it change dramatically?
Because I haven't written a novel since. I'm no longer a novelist. I have a new publisher and everything, and I can't even finish that manuscript because everything in my life is consumed by film.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Can that happen to me?
No.
So tell her no.
No, that would be worse. I feel like the narcissism, like it's sometimes under control.
But is she a real narcissist, or is she just confident in herself?
I don't know.
No, I'm not confident in myself at all. Oh my goodness, it's just fun to say.
Winona, you have such lipstick on your teeth. Like I just needed to tell you.
Can you see it?
It was getting worse.
No, I don't see. I don't see.
I don't care.
It was getting worse by the moment, y'all. I swear.
Oh my god. So okay, so now you are like a showrunner of sorts, I would assume.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't like that. Sure.
Let's go with director. Let's try another one.
I am everything.
So
you know,
you're a Jane of all trades and master of none, or you're master of all?
I'm master of most.
Oh, okay.
But if you ask me what my job is, I'm a writer. I will never tell you first I'm a director. I will never tell you first I'm a producer. I will never say any of that first. The most you might get out of me is filmmaker, because everybody doesn't necessarily understand. So I might just be like, yeah, I'm a filmmaker. But if you want to know what my profession is, as far as I'm concerned, is I'm a writer, period.
Where do you find the films?
Which ones? Depending on what you're looking for.
That's a question you're supposed to ask.
Yeah, I was like, where did that come from? This is not the end times.
Oh, so you want to come back? We want to circle back to that?
No. We definitely want to talk about.
We're going with it. Where can we find at least 2 or 3 of your films?
Okay, so the documentary about me is on Amazon Prime. It's called Parallel the Documentary, and then every film that I've retired from the film festival circuit is on my YouTube page. Also, my TV series that we've snatched off of the streaming service it was on, the first season of it is on YouTube now as well. So a lot of my work, if you go to my website, you'll be able to get to certain things, but there's a lot of stuff that's not available because it's still in the film festival circuits and stuff like that.
Okay, so what is this website that we need to go to?
It is www.bdaniellewatkins.com. Very easy is my name.
Lovely. Okay, now I feel like I should be ending the show, and I have not asked my narcissism question.
So
the show shall not end.
The show shall go on.
We shall go on.
Yeah. So, out of all your roles, which role do you think you like the best? Not acting roles, but like roles in behind the camera, front of the camera, or even as a novelist.
I like writing. I like telling a story.
So like writing and novelist are on the same level?
They're both storytelling. Yeah. It just depends on what side of the story you're telling, because as you all know, when you write a novel, you tell everything because there's nothing to reference. So you tell what color their hair is, you tell how they're walking down the street, you even tell how the breath was taken in the middle of it. In screenwriting, you just give a hint to it and let the actors take that into its own. So they're both so different, but they're so the same, because I can tell the same story both ways and still come across the same way.
Was it difficult to go from being able to tell every detail in a novel to being able to write a script and leaving a lot of it, the interpretation, to the actor? Because a novelist is kind of a control freak with a good imagination.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you're a control freak, it's very difficult. Because it was difficult for me to adapt my novels into a screenplay, because I wrote the novel. But it wasn't difficult for me to adapt somebody else's novel because I wasn't attached to all the extras. So it really depends on how close knit you are to that story. I know that when I'm writing just in general, I'm very descriptive as a screenwriter, but you're not supposed to give camera directions, and things like that. So I describe as much as I can. And if I'm directing that same screenplay, I can then turn around and give the same direction and say, okay, let's go a step further. This is what you need to look like. This is what you need to do. And there are times that I give my screenplays to other directors and I watch it and I'm like, how did you get that out of what I wrote? Like you're watching, I know that's not the same thing I sent you. It couldn't possibly be. But that's the catch-22 of doing it too.
So do you ever think you're going to go from film festival into the studio system? I know it's a long, hard jump to make, but...
So here's my issue. Going to the studio loses a lot of creative control.
Yeah, but it gains you a lot of money.
Money isn't always important to me.
Oh.
For me, it's about the storytelling. So I'd rather grind at this level and stack my money and have my own studio and be able to tell my own stories than to be able to write a 200-page script. And by the time it's on in the theaters, it turns into, as opposed to a screenplay based on a story by. And they've changed everything in my entire screenplay. They've changed my story. They've changed everything. To me, that's not winning. That's not success. So as much as I look at it, you tiptoe, because money sounds good, right? Who doesn't want to make money? But if I have to sell the integrity of my stories, I'll never do it.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Give me 1 second. I am so sorry. I'm going to be so unprofessional.
No.
Yes! Okay, we just got some great news. And then Jake's dad just walks up and he's like, here, right
here's
behind
your
the
great
camera.
news.
And I'm like,
here's your great news. I was like, stop it! Why would you open the mail and show me great news when I'm in the middle of recording? That's my dad for you. He's the truth.
Congratulations. Whatever it is.
Oh, really?
Tell her I said y'all supposed to be professional. Now you supposed to say.
Can you hear him?
Yes.
Telling him he should have been professional.
No matter what.
He started dancing, for crying out loud. He's almost 70 and he's out here dancing, going, good news.
Good news. You have to. You have to do it. So
we're back.
Go back. Being professional.
You're right. I was gonna say we have
so I get my joking spirit from my father, just in case y'all wanted to know that.
Oh, okay, got
that's
it.
My dad, alive and well, joking.
We're back, and I was gonna say one of our people that we interview quite a bit. He was a writer for Cheers. He always says that. He's like, I wrote a whole movie, and then I went to the theaters to go see it, and they had 2 lines in it that were mine. And he was like, that wasn't even my movie. And I was like, but did you enjoy the movie? And he was like, I kind of did.
Right.
Like, what's the point? You got the check and you enjoyed the movie.
That's Winona for you. Did I cash some money? Did I get some money? Well, then it doesn't even matter. If it's a hot mess, oh well. Thank you. Thank you for paying me. Thank you.
School for screenwriting, because after I became a screenwriter, I went to school for it, because for me, you can't call yourself something unless you've tried to learn it, right? And the first thing my teacher, he was an Emmy Award winning, blah, blah, blah. He had all these accolades. And the first thing he said was, yeah, so when you sell it, just make sure you don't anticipate seeing it. What? Mm-hmm. That changes everything for me. And if that's what it turns into, if it turns into me just writing, because I feel like if I'm writing, you're going to give me $300,000 for one script, okay. But it's so much more than that. If you hire me to write for you, it's one thing. But the stories that I'm telling, they mean a lot more than that money.
Exactly.
I can understand that. It's like I said that about the person that we did the interview with. But there are some stories that I'm like,
some stories just need to be told,
and I will smack.
Some stories need to be told the way that we envision it to be told. I mean, come on, we write literary life guides with pop poetry, so right. Yeah. In essence, we write anthologies, which nobody reads, and like there'll be people, they'll be like literary agents or whatever, and they read it and they say, this is great. I'm so glad you self-fellowship because nobody will let you
Do
it. And you're like, yeah, we
That's-
know. That's why. We know. Who let you do like chapters as a biscuit recipe? Nobody.
Right.
Nobody lets you do that.
So we understand it in a way, and but we don't understand like for the whole video Hollywood system. We don't get that, but we
So
do
I guess
understand our literary integrity.
Yeah.
But it is time for narcissism.
Yes.
Known as narcissism.
So I actually am gonna ask one of her narcissist questions just because, just to annoy her today. It feels good. It feels good. So what do you want to see Grace do in the next episode?
That is not where we start.
I don't care. I took your question. It
All
doesn't
right.
matter.
I thought the next episode was already done.
What do you want? Well, so it's still.
But I can't say what I want to see her do when she's already doing something else.
Well,
I
yes,
can
you
change
can
it.
because that's the power of the backspace button. That's this button. That's
the
the
writer.
power.
Which
Right.
is one of my workshops that I teach, the power of the writer.
Yep.
Actually, I want to see more of Grace, to be honest with you. Grace in it, but she's not in it. Because it's not, it's not about her. But Grace has enough power for her position that she could be seen more. So if there was anything I wanted for Grace, it would be for her to be more prevalent to show why she's in the position she's in.
Cool. There's a lot of grace in the second episode.
Okay, see?
There's a lot of
So-
grace. There's a
Yeah,
little
I want it.
a little bit of Angel, but that's a whole lot of grace. So I wanted to say, when you read the script, how did you feel about your character, and what characters did you like and dislike in the script?
Let me think. I didn't dislike anybody. There's nobody that I read it and was like, I can care less about them. I liked the style of it. I liked that it was reality. It was mock reality screen, but I'm trying to think. I read it and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I went back and had to read my character. So I never read it outside of having to turn into Grace. So I read the whole thing and said, okay, this is dope. And then went back and said, okay, let me see what Grace sounds like. But Grace had a couple lines, so it was like, let me skip 20 more pages. Oh, that's me. Skip 20 more. Got another one.
Okay, honestly, it was hard. What is it? It's like 4 and 4. This 4 and 3. 4 and 3. Yeah, because one of the ladies isn't actually there. I didn't write her in. Ha 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 ha. Well, it's like a 7-person main character cast.
Yes.
So it's hard to get everyone's screen time.
It is. I mean, that's a part of being a writer, though.
Yeah.
You divide things up. But you have an entire season to do that.
Uh-huh.
Everybody can't be in episode 1, and everybody can't be in episode 2, 3, 4, however far it goes. So as long as it's spread out accordingly, then it is what it is.
And then, of course, my last narcissism question is, what do you want to see happen in episode 2? Because I got all this feedback on episode 1. What you know?
As you know, the chest tight. I want to see it go back to present day. So we've seen the flashback. So now, what has that turned into?
You know, it's funny. That's what Jade said too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, that's episode 3. No, I was like,
oh, okay, so we still in the background. Okay, we still learning in episode 2.
Oh, you should give them more. So I did like 8 more pages of the actual present day.
Okay.
And she was like, yeah, if this ever something happens and someone's like, yeah, well, we want an episode 3 and they can put another cast of people together. Episode 3 is just straight present day.
Okay.
She was like, you have to make it straight present because you got to explain stuff. And I was like, really?
Not the really? Do I? Yeah, you kind of have to.
No,
I have to go back.
Really funny because when I was like, what do you mean? And I said, well, you know how I love television, right? And I was like, a lot of it. But I also read a lot, which is very interesting. Anyway. I was like, so as a person just watching or listening or whatever, right, to it, I'm going to be like, well, what's happening like right now?
Right, because once you see the first part of episode 1 and you're like, okay, flashback, and then we still flashback, and well, why did we? What happened? Well, where did that come from?
Like what? What? Like I understand why the flashback is there.
Right.
Because we need to understand why somebody would throw some coffee in somebody's face, especially hot coffee. Because like lukewarm coffee, all right, maybe. Like you was upset. But hot coffee, you have to be real mad. And you came there with the intention of some coffee in your face. Look now, I picked this up so I could throw this right in your face. So now I need to know why. And then, of course, flashback. Like now I get why hot coffee in the face.
Right. That's why we have to come back. We have to circle back around so we can understand why that happened.
Okay. Any more things about the script that we want to talk about? Because I have tons of stuff that I'd love to talk about.
No, she just needs to say what she needs to say about her chest being tight. Go ahead and let it out. Go ahead and let it out.
No, I will not take
No.
stand on a soapbox on the podcast because I can go off because I was in my feelings about everybody's opinion on something they ain't had shit to do with. Okay?
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say about that there.
Well, because as a writer, I think that especially you're coming in as a writer, and so when you're thinking about, look now, I many a nights where that hot coffee was the thing that fueled me to finish writing this script.
Right.
You just ran up in my part and you don't even know what goes into it, I guess. Like
that's perfect.
I just didn't like the presentation of how the criticism came, and I didn't like the speculation of any of it. We didn't know enough to be able to say so much. That's just how I feel.
So I think episode 2 is going to explain a lot. It's going to address a lot.
And maybe we should have waited for 2 before we had so much to say.
I only planned on doing 1 episode, and then I asked, and everyone was like, "Yeah, we'll be down for an episode 2." And I'm like, "You'll be down for an episode? Oh shoot,
let's write it."
I have it outlined, but now when everyone had something to say, you start changing things around, and it's ends up being a whole new story.
And that's the problem. We shouldn't change things because people have opinions. Ain't they story?
I didn't go to school to be a screenwriter, so I got to take questions.
We have to take out our medicine with a spoonful of sugar. We have to take it because when you don't go to school for it and you don't study it professionally, you'd be like,
you know how to tell a story.
Well, that's true.
So you didn't have to go to school for screenwriting to tell a story. Screenwriting just taught you the basics, just taught you the format. You know how to tell a story, and you don't need nobody else to tell your story for you. Period.
Her confidence is just so freaking amazing.
I love it. I love it so much. So what are the top 3 things that you would tell someone that might be?
I have one more.
No,
question.
I have a question, Winona, because
no, I have to finish up my narcissism. So last question is, what role do you dream of playing, or what script do you dream of writing? And then we can do top 3 about it.
Well, I dream of playing in Dreamgirls, but I don't want to be Dina. I want to be Laurel because I think Laurel is so dope. My problem is live, being on stage, I'll forget. It's easy on film because you can say, "Come, somebody bring me the script." I'll say that again. Can't do that in theater. I want to write a musical, but not a musical like Dreamgirls, What's Love Got to Do with It type, 5 Heartbeats type film. Mm-hmm. I want to write something like that because that's what I love the most as far as what I would watch. So the, films about people who have passed on or old groups and what they did to come through the music industry and what their music set to it is the type of film I would love to do.
You're going to do a biopic. Wow. Biopic. Okay. I love everyone that comes on the podcast that we've interviewed. They have amazing goals. I love it. My goal is to get episode 2 right. With the cast. I think I'm done.
That's my goal. That's all I got. Hey, but that's a goal. Because you could have said, my goal is to do absolutely nothing. So you have a goal.
You have to actually set that up as a goal, though, y'all.
You do. You have to set
absolutely nothing. You have to work at it.
Do it. Yeah.
You have to work at it, y'all. Because I tried it, and it didn't work. I ended up, even though I was on vacation.
Right, because if you have your phone, because your phone is still a computer, right? So you still sending emails. You don't have to open the laptop to do work.
No, it kind of looked like I was on vacation. But if you go to our website, www.andwethought.com,
I feel like that was a plug.
it was not. If you go, though, you'll be like, wow, this has changed a lot. I was on vacation, y'all.
That's because you needed to work through the vacation. You had a lot happening. That's all.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm on vacation, but every day for 4 hours, I'm redoing this website. Yeah, and it's still in the process, so I'm still technically on vacation. Okay, so what are the top 3 things that you would tell people, maybe even just novelists trying to get into screenwriting? What are the top 3 things that you would tell them as advice for them to do?
My top 3 things is one thing: just do it.
Wow, okay, I like that very much.
Everybody gets caught up on, I didn't go to school to screenwrite, or I've never done this before, or how do you get started? Who cares? Just do it. You can do anything. You can Google anything. You can do anything. Only thing that's stopping us from being great is us. So if you want to go from novel writing to screenwriting, get up and write a screenplay. It is not going to be perfect the first time. Nothing you're ever going to do is be perfect the first time. My very first novel is tragically terrible. But the story is good. The second one is better. Third one is amazing. The fourth one is it. My first screenplay, yes, it got me a job. Ain't the best thing in America. 7 years later, I can write my ass off. You have to start somewhere. You can't just say, because I don't know, I can't. That is a terrible mentality to have. And if you want to do something, do it. I'm not going to give you a list of things. Do it and then ask me what's next. Then ask me what my advice is. But if you haven't tried, that's the only thing I'm going to tell anybody. Do it.
Wow. And with that, I feel like we should just wrap it on
like
up.
But
I have like one more question. Like,
cool.
where do people find you again, your website and your movies, books, and everything?
All right. Well, if you put in Danielle Watkins in Google, everything will come up, right? But if you want to be specific, my website is bdaniellewatkins.com. If you go on IMDb, Facebook, and YouTube, all of that is B. Danielle Watkins. Twitter and what's the other one called? Instagram. Yes, I forgot. Instagram. Those are Black Butterfly, spelled BLACBUTTERFLII. But still, if you type in B. Danielle Watkins again, I'll come up. Again, a lot of my films that have been retired are on YouTube. My season 1 of my series, which is 3 years old, that's on YouTube. And then as we're getting ready, pandemic happened, right? So we made a movie during the pandemic. We're actually going to do an online screening for it as opposed to anything else to keep with the theme of quarantine. So that'll be coming up in September. And that will probably be on my website.
Nice. So do you think I have any casting ability? Do you think I have any acting ability?
I think you're hilarious.
I was so joking. No.
And I mean, if that's just who you naturally are, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, that's who she naturally is.
That's who you are.
She wakes up like this. It's crazy.
Yeah. You got it.
It's crazy.
No, I was asking like for your film, but that's cool. I'm good.
She just really wants to eat at the craft table. That is like one of our lifetime goals.
I won't lie though. We have one of the best craft services ever.
Stop. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me. I'm sorry.
Last week, and we had Filipino spaghetti that week. We had chicken. We had teriyaki chicken and rice. We had this amazing salad with Hawaiian rolls. We eat very well.
Here's what we're gonna do. I will offer my sweeping services if I get to have craft services. Yeah, I can push a broom remarkably well. Yeah.
So you're gonna come sweep up nothing on set. Got it.
Oh, whatever it is, I can win this with the best of them.
Just to eat. That is hilarious.
I have no acting skills whatsoever. So I mean,
she's not lying. So we have a documentary.
Am horrible. But see, she set me up for this, right? So the documentary, right? She was like, "Oh, you have to eat, like, because I missed you eating, so you have to eat again." And I was like, "What do you mean? I can't eat this food in front of me?" I'm so confused because I got it to eat. Like, and I ate already. But if you're gonna put some more food, like, let's get it done. Like, oh, you're supposed to be filming this? Oh.
Okay, so what happened was we had maybe like a fourth of an omelet left between the two of us, and we forgot because we were talking. This whole conversation should have been recorded.
Right.
And we're like, shoot, we forgot. So we'll just go back and, like, what did we say? Okay, we remembered what we said. We did the whole conversation again. We're like, all right, so we should be eating while we're doing this because we were eating before. So we had 1/4 of an omelet, so we were supposed to just be fake eating and talking, like,
Oh, I ate that omelet. It was good too.
Oh
my! You gotta eat omelets while they hot.
Okay, so we don't.
You couldn't fake eat the omelet.
I'm signing to her, continue eating.
I was like, what am I eating?
Like, there's no food.
There's no food left. Like, you gotta eat an omelet while it's warm. Like, you can't eat cold. I mean, not knocking. Somebody out there might love cold eggs. Not me. Jay does not.
It's not the greatest thing in America. Absolutely not.
I mean, like, if I have to eat it, like, hey.
Yeah, but you didn't have to in that moment.
Down her fork and knife and just finishes out the conversation, and I'm steadily still eating, and I'm like, I feel obviously it's the same 1/4.
I was like, that's dedication though. And I love it. I love it. Mine was gone, but
and while she's talking, I'm chewing.
And I said it too.
Chewing.
I know it's like that's dedication. Look at her with such dedication.
Yeah,
you two are hilarious. I just want you to know that.
I was with it. I mean, like, I was like, what do you mean? I have to not eat this good omelet. Like, it had cheese. It was so cheesy. You can't not eat it. That's ridiculous.
It's okay. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful Ladies' Tale podcast. We really appreciate it.
Would you like to tell people where they can find what we are up to?
Oh, yes, you can find out everything your ladies are doing, and I guess their tales, right? Well, not. Oh, that sounds bad. That's not a tagline. That's not a tagline. So you can find out everything your ladies are doing. www.andwethought.com.
Thank you so much for listening to Ladies' Tales today. Please remember to be open and ready for the stories around you. And we'll see you again when we have another Ladies' Tale podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.